Garden update. Okay, so only about a dozen or so of the potatoes sprouted, and it's time to cover them up with dirt. I'll just cover all of this with some of the soil and let them grow again, and then cover them again. But since not all of them sprouted up with little plants, I will probably go in and do a second planting after I get some more potatoes sprouted. Tomatoes are looking really good. That's the watermelon. And we got over here, this is really growing. We've got the zucchini squash and the summer squash, and then this is the marigolds coming in. This pepper. This is the bush beans. And let's see, this is the greens gardens coming in really good. Kale and Swiss chard and spinach. Got another, this is a hot pepper. It's looking good, and the peas are vining up. And the herb garden is still slow to take off. You can see we've got some cilantro here, and dill. The onions and the radishes are growing really well. The onions that from seed are coming in. Yeah, this looks like sage. Yeah, that's sage. And basil, little tiny basil plant. Yeah, the garden is looking really good. So I'm just going to cover these potatoes with dirt. Keep watching it grow. Something else I wanted to share. All around our house we have wild raspberries. They're literally all around the perimeter of the yard. Just tons. Everything that you can see here that's kind of yellowish, that's all of the berries coming in. And if you look, you can see out all around there, all down along our driveway, and all along here, all wild berries that hopefully I will remember to keep checking on them to pick them before the birds eat them all, because sometimes if you're not paying attention, the birds will eat all of the berries before you get a chance to get any. I'm just showing the perimeter here. It just goes all around. Oh, look at this. Look, 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 look. Aha, I didn't know we had any that were so ripe. This takes getting out here and checking, because you saw some are just yellow, and then some like these are nice and black. These two are ready to pick. Just gotta beat the birds to it. And it goes, oh, look at that, all around here. And this is our fire pit. So should have plenty of berries if I can just remember to pick them for the birds. Speaking of birds. Hey Jackson. Hi. Hi. Say hi to people. Hi. So this is a container garden out here. It's doing well. Got a pea and 2 cucumbers. This is a plumeria. Ren gave it to me, and when she first gave it to me, they all the ends looked like this, and now they look like this. They are starting to grow. Let's see what else. This is looking a lot better. Still has some wilted edges, but it's coming in. Lettuce. And we have cilantro. Basil. I'm going to have to thin this a little bit. That came in really quickly and before I realized how many there were. I'm still not sure what this is. That is probably the thyme, and then here we have some sage, also needing to be thinning, those two, and that. I'll probably try to transplant. Cilantro, herbs in general, when they're this tiny, I don't think they transplant really well, but we'll try. Hey Jackson, hey! Okay, so today I'm going to be hilling some of the potato plants. They're about 6 or 7 inches tall. Some of them are still kind of small, so I won't worry about doing those, but I'm just going to do a few of these to get them to start sending out shoots to grow some more potatoes. Okay, so you can see these are growing pretty quickly compared to just the other day when I showed the progress of the garden. I'm just going to put it up just loosely. You don't want to pack it too tight. And we've had a lot of rain, so I don't need to worry about watering this right now. Normally you would want to water it before you did this to hold a lot of the moisture in. That's part of what's grown so much just in the past couple of days. We had a lot of rain, and then we had like one really, really sunny day. And you can see this little one down here. I'm just leaving that one alone. I'm just going to leave a little bit of each plant at the top. And that's how you do it. Now I'll do this one and these over here, and that'll be it. Okay, so I was just looking through the videos, the one that I did just 2 days ago, and then the one I did today of hilling the potatoes. As you can see, this is what I did just a few minutes ago. And I noticed how much difference there is in this garden compared to just 2 days ago. That's a lot of growth if you look back on the video from where I did the garden tour. Just 2 days, it changed tremendously. Look at that. I'm so excited for my cilantro to come in. Like once I have cilantro and jalapenos and Roma tomatoes, I'm making salsa. It's gonna be so good. It's one of my favorite things to make is homemade salsa. Anyway, I just wanted to show how much difference, especially for squash, can happen in just a couple of days. It makes it really exciting to do a garden when there are certain plants that grow really quickly, like squash and radishes. It can be very satisfying to see that growth happen so quickly. Jackson, hi, come here, come here. Can you say hi to people? He's sleepy. He's a sleepy puppy. So this evening I'm out here in the garden, and this is my cabbage. See that? See the little guy? I've had to been pulling those off, so I have a feeling my cabbage is not going to do so well, but pretty tomato. The peppers, Look at the marigolds really coming in. The beans, tomato plants. Look at the squash garden. The potato garden. Gotta hill those again. Watermelon, tomatoes. Look at the peas just climbing. And all of these beautiful greens. We've got spinach, chard, lettuce. I think that the there's bugs getting to the kale as well. So far it seems like the kale and the cabbage are the only things that this particular garden is having a problem with this year. So well, that's not too bad. And it's time to harvest radishes. Look at them. Gorgeous. Probably do that tomorrow. And then in the herb garden over here, several things didn't come in. The thyme never came in. Rosemary didn't come in. We had some basil that didn't come in. And so since I have the container garden in the back where I had grown some different herbs, I transplanted some of those. So I'll show you that here. I transplanted some oregano and I put some here. And I put one over here just in case, just to see which one takes off. I transplanted some cilantro. I transplanted some basil. This is the one that had already come in here. There's the dill. It did fine. Let's see what else. I transplanted, this is the sage that came in, and this is the one that I transplanted. And then there was some new cilantro I put in. Now, you might be saying, that's a lot of cilantro. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares of cilantro and about 1 or 2 of everything else. But cilantro goes in salsa, and you gotta have salsa. So anyway, everything's looking great. I was looking at pictures from gardens from years past that come up on like Facebook memories, and my garden is just like, especially greens. They're usually like at least a foot, 2 feet high. And having started a garden just a month late makes a really big difference, but it's still doing great. So that's a little garden update. Good morning. I'm going to be picking radishes today. As you can see here, the radishes have really, really grown a lot. And so I'm going to pick them, and one of the things that you can do with the radishes is to saute the radish tops, or you don't even have to saute them. I think you can eat them raw. I've never really cared for them raw just because they're kind of pokey. They've got a little bit of a little sharp, not really sharp, but just a hairy texture to them that I don't care for. But you saute them up and they're really good. I made some rice and some steamed zucchini and onions yesterday for supper, and I was thinking that all of these radish tops would be really good with that. So that might be something that I have later. I got bit by a gnat. My arm is itching and red now. Alright, so got a little bowl here. Oh, and the transplants that I did yesterday, I checked on those just to make sure, because sometimes when you transplant something, they'll wilt. And so far, they're looking pretty good. The thyme looks like it wilted just a little bit, but it might come back. We'll just have to see. Or not the thyme. The sage looks a little wilty. Anyway, so here we go. So basically all you got to do, they're really pokey. Really pokey. I didn't cut the radishes back when they started coming in. They just came in so fast that I never got around to really cutting them back. So sometimes, as you can see right here, which I'll bring you in a little closer, you can see that there's a smaller, this one's really small compared to all the others, and it's just because it's growing so close together. You see that? So that is a good reason to do your thinning out to keep that from happening. Just pick these. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful radishes. Just put them here in a bowl. I said, see this one's much smaller? Because I didn't thin them. And when you thin them, you give them the opportunity to have more space to grow so that they come out big and beautiful. Another thing about radishes though, which I may have done, is let them grow a little bit too big. And sometimes that means they're a little more spicy. Like here's 3. These 3 right here together. Didn't thin them, so they didn't have space to grow. So that's a really important reason to thin your sprouts when they come up. Make sure that they have plenty of room to grow. See, let it grow too long. Should have picked these probably at least 4 or 5 days ago. But radishes grow so fast. I'd be really careful not to mush my oregano over here. See, on some of these that are really small, I'll just use the greens. So now I've got all these, and I'll probably shake them out just to make sure there's not a lot of bugs or anything, and then wash them and cut them and make sure that I use them right away because they'll start to wilt. And I'll just clean the radishes and put them in the fridge and put them on salads and eat them however. And now I've got this area here where I can do another planting of radishes, and so by the time the next 16 radishes come in, I'll be ready to eat those. Another spot that has opened up is right here with the cabbage. So as I showed before, the cabbage is not doing so well because there are these little green worms that are trying to eat all of them. So what I'm going to do with these 5 spaces, I'm going to plant something else in those spaces. I might plant more radishes there because those are really quick and easy to grow. I might grow more herbs or possibly put some more lettuce over here. I don't know. If there's already a leaf munching worm over here, I don't know if I want to give it much more to eat. So those spaces have opened up. So that's kind of cool that I have something that I can do like a midsummer planting. So that's it for today. And so I think this is the last video that I'm going to put onto this upload. So next time, I'm not really sure what we'll be doing, but it'll definitely be either garden or life related in somehow. So we'll see you on the next one.